This podcast may contain discussions of graphic violence, unsettling themes, supernatural phenomena, and other topics that some listeners may find disturbing or triggering. Listener discretion is advised. This podcast is intended for entertainment purposes only. The opinions expressed are simply those of the individual hosts and do not represent the profession of psychology or constitute professional advice.
Welcome back to the Secret Passage podcast. I am your host, Dana Vespoli, and with me, as always, is the amazing, wonderful, convalescing Shannon Rogers.
That's right. Your faithful co-host. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm doing okay. Suffering from post-COVID, post-nasal drip, but that's it.
Oh, man. It's funny when you went to New York and we were talking about all of the things about just the pain in the ass of travel and all that kind of thing. We'd totally forgotten about COVID, like that's a thing.
Yeah, it's only the second time I've had it. And every time I have it, I'm like, I can really feel the gain of function research in this virus. It doesn't feel like a normal virus. It's like really weird. Just like how you come in and out of it. Like I'm fine during the day. Like fine. I was exercising and then not fine, but like you get used to it. And then I'd try to go to bed at night and it was just a disaster for like a 12-hour struggle to try to sleep. So yeah, I don't know. It's wild. And my brain feels scrambled. Just feels kind of like I was driving and I was like, I can't even see straight. I feel like I'm drunk. I know.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
I think there's a little bit of human tooling in this.
It feels manipulated.
I think there's a little engineering here.
Yeah. You see these little scientists behind like, yeah, like they're like toiling away. Oh my goodness. Well, Shannon, well, let's talk about your secret passage. We had last week off while you were recovering, and of course, there's always a million things to do.
Yeah.
Any secret passages?
Well, just the travel piece, like so many things. First of all, we went to New York. We stayed in the Standard. The Standard, it was so beautiful, like at the High Line. So we had this beautiful view of the Hudson River, and with the time change was fine, but we were kind of joking because that song, that Jay-Z song, New York.
Yeah.
It's all concrete jungle where dreams are made of. We're like, stay in your hotel, order room service, watch Dumber and Dumber. We were like totally watch Dumber and Dumberer. We were like totally lazy. But we did things. We went to a wedding. We saw some family. We went to the museum, the Natural History Museum. We went to Central Park and lots of things. But we slept in till like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And we just took it really, really easy. And it felt really good. I think like New York to me feels like home. I've never lived there. I've always wanted to live there. It's my favorite city. And I just felt like I was at home when I was there. So we were in a really touristy area, but we didn't feel like tourists at all. I mean, Tim's family is from there and he would go every summer to visit his grandparents, and his sister Jessica lived there for a long time. She went to college there and she totally worked for like a Devil Wears Prada kind of person when she worked as a journalist. And then she left the city a long time ago. So, but it just feels like home and I kind of miss it. So,
yeah.
Oh, etiquette, plane etiquette. That's one thing I want to talk about.
Yeah.
Where do you sit? Where do you like to sit when you fly? Like, what's your favorite seat?
I'm going to be honest with you, aisle.
Me too. Okay,
Yeah.
I think conscientious people who might be like, don't want to bother people, want to have control, need to go to the bathroom. We all sit on the aisle, right?
Mm-hmm.
So every time I get on a plane, I tell the people next to me, I'm like, you guys, if I fall asleep or whatever, I'm like, don't worry about bugging me if you need to get up to go to the bathroom at all. Because I know how people feel. So we had the window because Tim likes the window and I was sitting in the middle both ways. And each time some person sat on the aisle seat and sat there and immediately went to sleep and slept the whole time and used the bathroom once. And so we had to wake him up like multiple times. And we're like, what's the etiquette here? Like, if you're gonna get an aisle seat, you shouldn't be the person who just, like, immediately goes to sleep and doesn't ever use the bathroom, right? That's my
Yeah.
thinking. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, even if I do fall asleep or whatever, I don't mind that's the thing. I don't like to bother people. I don't
Yeah.
mind. I understand. I'm not gonna be pissed if anybody needs to get up multiple times and stuff, but, like, I love to sit in the emergency row. Like,
Yeah.
I am the person, I'm sitting there, and I'm like, "This is my time to shine," and I sit there and I look at the flight attendant, I'm like, "Yeah, I got this. I got it.
That's amazing
I'll
because I
save
was
your fucking life. I'll do
okay,
it."
that's good because I'm the person who every time they come on and they're like, "Let me explain to you how to put this on your face. There's flotation devices." I totally check out and I was thinking to myself, I was like, if an emergency happened, I wouldn't actually even know what to do. Like I've heard this a million times and I'd never listen. Like
Yeah.
I'd have to look around and be like, "What's everybody else doing?" Yeah. Anyway,
Well,
thank
see,
you for
I'm an anxious person,
Mhm.
but, like, it's like I've been training my whole life for an emergency. So,
Yeah.
like, when the emergency happens, I'm the one that you want in your corner because
Yes.
I'm a Virgo. I'm like, I know CPR. I have a good, like all this shit. I was a
Mhm.
lifeguard in college. I got it. I mean, I will worry till the cows come home that we're going to crash, that, there's going to be a hostage situation.
Mhm.
But if something happens that where we can actually use the exit, the emergency doors, like I don't want that to happen, but I got you. I got you.
I
I'll save your
love
life.
this.
I'll
It's good
save
to
your life.
know because I'm always checking those people out and I'm like, "Hmm, can I
No, no,
trust
they look like
you?"
they don't give a fuck. They
You
just
know,
wanted
they're,
the
like,
leg room.
drinking and they're sleeping. Yeah.
Yeah. They just wanted the leg room. Yeah. Hang on a second. He needs help getting on the bed. All right.
Oh, Pooch Man. Come
Here
on,
we go.
Pooch Man.
You got this. You got it. Come on. There you go.
How about your secret I mean, I also wanna say this is not gonna air this week, but I'm just, like, so moved watching all the, hostages come home.
Same. I get choked up, like,
Yeah,
seeing that, like, because I just feel like a lot of those families and friends and stuff had, at some point, wondered if this was ever gonna happen, you know?
absolutely.
Secret passage for me. I have that wonderful thing happening right now where I'm like, is it the onset of the flu?
Oh,
Is it
no.
COVID? Is it
Oh,
COVID?
no.
Is this is this my perimenopause acting up again? Is this PMS? Is this just that kind of existential ennui that happens sometimes? Like I got all these things going on. I'm like, what's going on?
Oh my god, sounds fun.
Yeah, it's because it's that time. It's that time of the month where I'm like, it could be any number of things. It reminds me of when COVID first hit, and I was like, is this at my spring allergies or is this COVID?
Totally.
You
That's what this
know?
feels like. This feels like allergies.
Yeah.
That's what I thought it was. Oh, no. I hope you don't have it.
I'll be fine. This is also a thing where, you know what? 1 o'clock is gonna roll around and
Yeah.
I might suddenly feel fucking great. Like, it's a
Totally.
crapshoot. Anything could happen. As far as any secret passages, let's see. Last week, okay. I rewatched David Lynch's Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me.
Mm,
I hadn't seen it in a really long time, and it was interesting to watch it again now
mhm,
versus back in the 90s when I watched it. I was a big Twin Peaks fan, like crazy in the 90s. Like
mhm,
I was such a fan of that show. David Lynch is an interesting one. There are some things with him that it's like, I mean, he was that kind of special a director that like he had his own style, like that distinctive David Lynch style.
yep.
There's some things I was into and some things I didn't get into as much, but I always really appreciated him. But watching Fire Walk with Me and then seeing the whole thing from Laura Palmer's perspective was,
Mhm.
you know, because you find out, you understand that what happened to her was her father,
Yeah.
basically. And then that got me into, like, I didn't know about Twin Peaks: The Return,
Oh, I didn't
so
either.
I started watching that, and it reminded me of the first time I saw Eraserhead. Check this out. This might be the reason why my life took such a weird turn, and I ended up, like, in, like, the seedy underbelly of San Francisco and the pornographic film industry, all that kind of stuff. The first time I saw Eraserhead, I was 13 years old and had a bad fever.
Oof.
And someone, I can't remember who it was, had rented a stack of videotapes. Yeah, videotapes.
Yep.
It was the 80s. And so I was, like, sitting in bed watching. They moved the TV and VCR into my room since I was so sick. So I'm, like,
Aw.
watching fucking movies, and then I put Eraserhead on, and I'm running a fever, low-grade fever, and I'm just, like, watching this chicken dance, this, like, roasted chicken, and I'm like, "What? Am I hallucinating? Like, what am I watching?" It was tripping me the fuck out. And then fast forward to now, and I'm watching Twin Peaks: The Return. I'm like, "What is happening? What the fuck?" There are some parts. I mean, it's David Lynch being very, like, indulgent. You know,
Mhm,
he's like,
mhm,
really, this is like, it's as much just a visual art piece
mhm,
as it is a story.
mhm.
And there's one section where I'm like, what the fuck is happening with Special Agent Cooper right now? I'm like, my eyes are hurting watching this. So anyway, sorry to go on and on and on about David Lynch, but that was fucking my secret passage. My secret passage looked like that curtained hallway in the Black Lodge of Twin Peaks, if you are familiar with that at all. That was my secret passage. I was
Uh-huh.
like,
Yeah.
so yeah.
Yeah. I'm not a fan. I don't love David Lynch. I like him as a person. I think he's so eccentric and cool and funny. But I freaking can't stand his movies. And I also, like, never saw, oh, I think I saw Eraserhead maybe in school. I liked Twin Peaks enough, but it just, I don't know. I don't like that stuff. I don't like anything that uncanny, weird. I feel wobbly. Like, I don't need more of that in my life, but I get it. I mean, our whole generation was like, he was our guy, and I get it. It's like artful and it's evocative, right? Like it puts you in a state, right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just he veers into what, or veered, I know he passed away. He veered into what felt very just self-indulgent and
Ah,
stuff. I'm like, this is I don't know that
yes.
I loved Lost Highway. Lost
Mm,
Highway was amazing. I was a big Twin Peaks fan.
mhm.
But yeah, like Mulholland Drive, I don't understand why people consider it's like one of the best movies of whatever it was. Like,
Yeah.
there's aspects that I love. I think he captures the essence of Los Angeles really
Yes.
incredibly well.
Yep.
Like, I'm like, yeah, there is that darkness.
Yep.
There's something that feels almost like supernatural. You know what led me to watch David Lynch again was I had seen Under the Silver Lake, which
Mm,
it's this movie that Andrew Garfield starred in. It was
mm,
a while ago, and it felt like very, very like David Lynch. I'm like, if
mm.
he ever watched this, he probably liked it. It's like up his alley. But that got me
Yeah.
on that thing. But yeah, he's not my favorite, but I appreciate him. And yeah, Lost Highway for me was like, it might be my favorite thing that he's done.
I've always wanted to revisit it from this age, because
Mhm.
maybe I would like it more. But it's interesting to hear your perspective on it, like having come back to it after some time. I might give it a shot. We'll see.
Just make sure you're not sick when you watch it. It'll freak you the fuck out. You'll be
It's
like,
already a fever dream. Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, today we are going to be talking about a social media influencer who is in the news for something very tragic that happened in May, Emily Kaiser. We spoke about her after the tragedy, pretty soon after the tragedy happened with her son drowning. But she has come back to posting on TikTok and Instagram and all that, and the reaction to it is fascinating. And that
Mm.
is primarily what we want to look at is just so, I mean, honestly, we always come back to this conversation about social media because we're all addicted to it, to some degree.
And that's not an accident.
Yeah, it's not an accident.
Like, there's a whole attention economy built around this stuff. Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
And I had seen a post. She had come back and I had seen a post, and then I was seeing some comments to her post, which led me to Reddit because Reddit is fast. It's a dark, fascinating place, and the reactions were really intense. And so then I alerted Shannon and said, "Dude, you got to check this out. I'd love your perspective as a therapist. What is happening? What's happening with Emily? What's happening with these mostly women that are just obsessively talking about her and very aggressively in some cases, just disturbing stuff." But before we get into it, I'm going to kind of do a quick explanation for those of you who do not know who Emily Kaiser is and wonder what the hell I'm talking about.
Ooh, can I say something really quick?
Oh, of course. Yes,
Yeah,
please.
so,
Please do.
like, after we talked about it kind of at length the last couple of days, and I was sitting there last night unable to sleep, and, so awful. I dread the night. Anyway, I was like, "What is it that's so compelling about this stuff, and why do I have such an aversion to it?" Because I don't really follow anyone that's an influencer. And I sort of drop in on certain people, and it's usually a utilitarian. It's usually like, oh, Mary Claire Haver is talking about menopause, like, but I think there's something very creepy about the uncanny sort of mix of intimacy and artifice.
Yeah.
And like someone feels like we'll get into this later, but like that this person like Emily Kaiser feels like your friend, but she's ultimately a brand, and she's operating in this system that is the main sort of that rewards capturing our attention above everything else, over like like integrity, depth, honesty, accuracy. And it's not like the system, the internet or whatever, that whole social media is not like it's anti-integrity, but it's like optimized for what scales attention from the audience fastest. So it's not like, oh, unless it's like a niche market that where truth and meaning and, like vulnerability and all those things will get you more attention and likes. So her case especially is interesting in this sense because she's doing this dance with her followers now around how much honesty or like emotional honesty and disclosure is she going to give them. I think that I finally landed on like for myself why this is so compelling. It's like this whole weird system that you're drawn into, maybe of your free will, but then it's like it's all designed in terms to get engagement from you, and it invites you into this intimate relationship with this person who is totally a brand. Right? And it's like really imbalanced. Anyway, so that's my little 2 cents about why.
No, that it's so interesting because the way that they kind of rope you in,
Mhm.
right? And I'm not even talking about the influencers themselves. I'm talking about their marketing teams, right? There's a science to it.
Mhm.
And I've been following like COVID is what led me to TikTok. And
Mhm.
I would just do like not even doom scroll. I was living in the doom. So I was looking for comfort.
Yeah.
And the way that a lot of these creators are regarded is, oh, that person is my comfort creator.
Ah,
There's a rhythm, right? There's a whole you
yes.
so there's one particular I guess she's a mommy vlogger. I'm not going to name her name. She originally started out there was just her documenting her life and her struggles. She was a nurse, pregnant, heavily pregnant, dealing with like gestational diabetes, taking time off of work. She had her maternity leave. She has this adorable little girl that she's, that has a big personality, all of this stuff. And people, are drawn to her. She's just being very transparent about like, oh man, this is what I'm dealing with. Like, this is what I do. She has a very simple apartment. She's not living this opulent life. She ended up blowing up. Some of her TikToks blew up, right? Now she has a marketing team. Now she has, what is it called? Like management. Now she has management.
Mm.
Now
Mm.
she has sponsorship deals. And now she does the things
Mm-hmm.
where you see her, and it's rote. Like you see this across the board, right? She's got her mirror. She's got her tripod set up. Gets up in the morning. This is it. Looks in the mirror.
That thing they do, the like holding the product up.
Yes, with the ASMR.
Oh, that's ASMR.
Do the makeup, and then they go.
I did
Yeah.
not know that was ASMR. That's so interesting. Oh, it totally is.
Yeah, it's ASMR, and it draws you in, right? There's
Mhm.
all these little things, and then explaining. So this is what I'm doing today. Da 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 da. And then it's like
Oh my god,
the
yes.
the quick edits. Start the car, Stanley Cup in the thing, coffee in the thing.
Yes.
Start it back, like the whole thing, and there's a rhythm to it that is like very hypnotic, right?
Mhm.
And if you go to their link in bio, all the products that they have been using, the hauls they do. Okay, just did a Trader Joe's haul. This is what I got. Just did a Marshall's haul. This is what I got. Here's my Amazon haul. This is, and there's a rhythm to it that is kind of uniform across the board. And so that's what is drawing people in. And so she's still that cool lady. I'm sure that it's interesting because I think a lot of these people that start out authentically,
Mhm, mhm.
just doing these things, they clearly they have a talent, that they have a charisma to them, right? That
Mhm.
draws the views, that then justifies the management team, that then brings in money, but it's going to cost them like some of that authenticity, most of that authenticity. And then as they get more and more and more and more and more followers, everything becomes artificial. And maybe there's that impulse to guard what is private now, because
Yeah.
now everybody's watching you. And so you don't necessarily feel okay talking about certain things, or you want to guard certain things. It's interesting.
Yeah, oh.
And it feels like the Faustian bargain that these guys make. It's like, hey, do you want to make millions of dollars a month potentially? Do you want to maybe buy that big mansion in Arizona? Do you want to go on free trips with these different brands? Do you want free stuff? Do you want blah blah blah? And you think, yeah, of course, especially in this fucking economy.
Yes.
Life's been hard, man. I'm struggling. This is
Yes.
great. This is my kids' college fund. We're out of debt now. I can support my aging parents. Of course, it's incredibly tempting, but fucking A, dude, there's a cost, as we will discover
Yeah.
when shit goes awry, and then you have an entire Reddit thread that wishes you were dead. Like it's insane, that hates your fucking guts, like saying things that, like, I don't know, just a fraction of that would like make me go, oh,
I know. Let's be so thick-skinned. Yeah, let's get into it, and then because I have
Yeah.
so much this is really like
Yeah.
yeah.
This is like, it's a topic that we have revisited, I think, a few times. This idea of social media and influencer culture.
Well, Tim was like, Shannon, he's like, "Well, what's the old school version of this?" And I'm like, "I don't actually think there is one." Like QVC? Like it's like because there wasn't a model before now that encouraged this faux intimacy.
Yeah.
I don't think. This like you're part of my crew. You want to you maybe want to emulate me, or we have things in common, and we have this. It didn't foster maybe this
No,
parasitic.
It definitely it
Mm.
encourages, it pushes this parasocial relationship because that's what's gonna sell product. "Hey, let me tell you about my acne journey,"
Oh my god, I could
you
have my own
know?
acne channel.
Let
I mean, it's
me
compelling, right? It's like, who would wanna sit in a cubicle for 40 hours a week when you could just be like, tap, 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 tap. I mean, like, it's hard I think it's hard to crank out content, obviously. I mean, I had to miss last week because I was sick, but, like, I think it's a hard job. I don't think it's, like, easy, but
No, I think that's the misconception that comes
yeah.
up a lot is that it's not real work,
Mhm.
that anyone can do it, and the thing is, it's you can say it's easy, but they have to put out content every single day. Every single day. That means if you feel like shit, you better record it.
Yep.
You better talk about it.
Yeah, if your kid died, you better get on there 5 weeks from when he died.
Yeah, TikTok, TikTok. You're about to lose everything. And
Actual
you just
TikTok, TikTok.
yeah. So let's go ahead and get into who Emily Kaiser is for those of you that have held on this long. Emily Kaiser, she is a popular social media influencer. She's known for her lifestyle, fashion, and family content. She built a massive following, well over 1 million on Instagram and shit, more than 4 million on TikTok. She shares everything from daily vlogs to brand collaborations. She's often seen at events like the Poppy Soda Bash in Montauk. She's all about that relatable mom vibe or aspirational mom vibe, I should say.
Yeah.
She welcomed her second son in March of 2025. His name is Teddy. Her first child, Trig, was 3 years old as of May 2025. He passed in May. So yes. So what happened is that she was posting all kinds of content that her get ready with me's in the morning were famous, like they were being imitated by other creators, where she gets up, turns on the light, she's in her pajamas. When I started following her, she was like heavily pregnant, talking about being pregnant. You see her son, she'd be driving him to, I don't know if he was in school, maybe preschool, and you'd see her grocery shopping with him. She would talk about different things she was buying, different types of food she was making, what she was dressing him in, types of toys that he liked, all that kind of stuff. So her family featured very prominently as part of her brand. So in May of this year, right after Mother's Day, Emily had gone to uh, out to have dinner with some of her friends. It was her first time, I believe, out of the house after, being away from her newborn.
Mm.
And her husband Brady stayed home to watch the kids, and he was watching sports while she left. So she gets in her car, she leaves. By the time she got to the restaurant, I believe, so about maybe 25-30 minutes after she left the house, Trig drowned in the family pool. And so what had happened is that Brady was home. I think the baby was too little to do anything. So the baby's just sleeping probably in his crib. And Trig went outside to play, which apparently was par for the course. He was
Mhm.
allowed to go outside and play. So like I think they had sliding glass door was open. Trig went outside. The dogs were barking. Brady goes to see what they're barking about. Trig is in the pool. And Brady pulls Trig out, calls 911. The whole thing happens, and Trig is transported to Children's Hospital and passed away. I want to say about 4, maybe 5 days later. And what had happened is that Trig had ISR swim lessons, which is infant swimming resource is what it stands for. I
Hmm.
actually had my oldest took ISR. It's something that you have to constantly work on, or else the kids will forget
Mhm.
how to kind of like you learn how to, because babies can't, toddlers, their proportions, they can't like learn swim stroke. So what they teach them to do is to like, they fall in water to turn and over on their backs and like kick and call for help or whatever. It's supposed to buy you some time. Or if they're a little bit older, they can actually kick to the edge of the pool and grab on. So I have no idea. I know that Trig had taken ISR swim lessons. I don't know if they kept up with it where for him to keep practicing. I don't know if it's just a case of it's not, that's not, it doesn't fix everything. It is it is one safeguard. It shouldn't be the only thing you count on. And this isn't me lecturing them about what happened, but they did not have a pool fence. They had a pool cover. So not a pool cover that you just put on to keep leaves out, but I believe it was like a cover for, you know, if anybody was to fall in the pool, if he was to fall in the pool, if the dogs were to like fall in the pool, whatever, it functions as a protection device, basically. So they had that, which, as I understand it, was preferable to Emily over the pool fence because aesthetically it was easier on the eyes, which she got a lot of shit for that. And also that Trig was allowed to play outside, which apparently, according to the police report, Brady had said that it wasn't unusual for Trig to go outside by himself to play. Presumably, he understood to like not go in the water by himself, that to just play in the grass, whatever. But what happened is it's not that he tried to get in the pool, it's that he tripped and fell in because there was like some pool stuff, pool toys or whatever near the pool. And so he fell in. And it took about 10 minutes for everything to go down, basically. So he was in the pool for around 7 minutes before Brady pulled him out. And so after that happened, and I know that we covered some of this already, but just again, the recap, after that happened, it made the news, of course. They didn't say anybody's names, but based on the overhead, I guess, aerial view of the house and the town in Arizona where it happened, some of her fans put two and two together and realized that it was her, then Trig and Brady. And that is when they started calling hospitals to find out if Trig was there, to find out the status of what kind of shape he was in. Accusations started flying. So there was this real split down the middle of people carrying pitchforks and, you know, being very, very angry that she didn't have a pool fence, that in the comment section of many of her TikToks where her pool is visible, people are telling her she needs to put up a fence. And apparently she either ignored it, deleted the comments, blocked them. I'm not sure. This is all alleged. I didn't actually go look for myself. This is a lot of what is repeated over and over again in these Reddit threads and in her TikTok comments and stuff. So you had, you know, that group of people that was basically that was blaming her for this happening, blaming Brady for this happening. And then the other half, which of course was, you know, sad, to, you know, sharing words of condolences, et cetera, et cetera. Some people going a little too far, having DoorDash deliver food to her house because now they knew where she fucking lived.
Oof.
Acting as though this happened to them, taking it on, like taking that parasocial thing a little too far. And so Emily, understandably, stayed off of social media from about May when this happened until September when she returned. And she returned with first a kind of a note just on her, like a post that was just writing, saying that she was, you know, thankful for people's kind words, etc., that she was coming back, that she didn't know the way in which she would come back, what it would look like, whatever, but it was time for her to come back. Her first post was a morning post where she got up in that kind of typical way that she used to, got her drink together, her coffee, whatever, put it on the counter, and then she addresses everyone and says that she's not here to try and act like everything's okay. She doesn't know what her content will look like moving forward. She's taking this day by day. She will talk about things when she's ready and all that, but it's time for her to kind of get back. So that's what she did. And man, people
Well,
got shit to say. people
that's
got
so
shit to
reasonable.
fucking say.
I know.
Man, she cannot win. This lady cannot fucking win. There is nothing she can
seriously.
do.
Like,
Yeah.
that is a really honest way to approach it, right? It's boundaried. It's like, I think we'll get into this more, but the entitlement, right? The sense of entitlement to, like, I always tell my clients, I'm like, when I learned this myself, I was like, oh God, what a helpful distinction. There's a difference between honesty and total self-disclosure. And it's like, it's very honest to say that. I don't know how I'm going to do this, but I'm coming back. And that's admitting something about what you're doing, but it's not permitting everyone to have like full access to your entire interior. But it sounds like, in a way, the response, she cannot win. Yeah, right. Like, it's like hell broke loose, right? Like, because she wouldn't give them what they felt they were entitled to.
They have wanted everything from her to completely shift gears. These are some of the things that the public wants from her. Okay. They want her to completely change all of her content and become a pool safety advocate.
Boring.
That's the thing is, like, first of all, give her a minute. Give her some time. They're like, she still doesn't have a pool fence up. I'm like, dude, she just started fucking coming back and putting herself, give her a minute if she even wants to. So they want her to shift gears and stop being Emily Kaiser, family vlogger, beauty influencer, whatever, right? They don't want that anymore. They want her to be an advocate for pool safety. 1. 2, they want her to just give up TikTok altogether. They want her to give up her entire career, sell her house, move somewhere far away and get a desk job.
You got to pay, lady, for disappointing us.
They want her to divorce her husband, take the little one, her Teddy, and just go away. That's what they want. Like, why doesn't she sell her house, divorce Brady, quit her job that's like the only fucking source of income she's had this whole time? Oh, and then there's judgment about that because being an influencer is not a real job. So like, she doesn't even have a job anyway. She doesn't actually do anything. Like, all of this shit.
The specific demand, the specificity is hilarious. It's like, it's such a window into the psychology of these people. I mean, I'm guessing, like, how we do anything is how we do everything. I'm guessing these people don't have that healthy of relationships in real life either. But,
oh, yes, they do, Shannon. They are.
Perfect.
Just so you know, they would have done things very differently if they had lost. Well, first of all, they would have never lost a child to a drowning. I'm sorry, it's not even an accident. It was negligence. It was murder. They would never murder their child. So there's that. They would never do this. They also would never be an influencer because that's stupid. Like, this is what it's like. Like, I go in there and I'm picturing all of these Karens just clutching their pearls. Like, oh, did you see? She looked happy in her latest TikTok. She doesn't care that Trig died. She loves that Trig died. Like, it's wild. Like, I'm reading this and I want to fucking take a Silkwood shower. I'm like, I am just covered in just this toxicity. Like, it's terrible. And it's interesting because, like, I was reading this and I'm like, am I imagining things? Is she a sociopath? Because right now Emily Kaiser is being called a sociopath. That she never loved her. She doesn't love Teddy, and she never loved Trig. Like, they existed as props. That Brady is a loser and useless and worthless. All of these things. It's like. It's so aggressive. And so I'm like, am I missing something? So I go back and I'm looking, and I sent you some TikToks because I'm like, this is the one that she posted, the first one that she posted that apparently she had recorded something like 5 weeks after, because she had some content that I think she was trying to get a test run going of like, can I do this? So she filmed something close to 4th of July that she then, I think, stored it felt like a test run. So she stored that. And then also maybe to shoot content to be able to like queue up and maybe release on a schedule. And people were losing their shit because they're like, look at the 4th of July stuff in the store she's in. She recorded this mere weeks after Trig passed away. What kind of a monster does that? So I sent you the thing, and I'm like
Yeah.
rewatching it, and she's whether she's happy or not, I don't think she is happy in it. Her eyes are red rimmed. She goes
Yeah.
to therapy after.
Yes.
There is apparently a right and a wrong way to grieve.
Oh yeah, yeah.
According to the people in this Reddit snark community, she should just be absolutely dour and crying the entire time because that's what they would do if they lost someone. Like she's not allowed to ever laugh, ever experience any like pockets of just feeling okay. And that's the thing is like she goes to therapy. We're not entitled to know what she talks about in therapy. We're not entitled to know how she's processing this, you know?
I wonder if some of this is like driven by, well, it's like it feels like a betrayal driven kind of backlash. Like, we thought you were someone that we wanted to emulate. I think also I think part of the like, the response to I would never do that, that I would never do that response. Have you ever heard the term defensive attribution?
No.
It's like when we blame a victim or we blame somebody like who has something horrible happen, like blaming her for what happened, because what happened to her evokes something in us that's like, this is out of control. This is like a tragic, terrible thing that could happen. It might potentially be able to happen to me. And then part of the defense of like, no, that could never happen to me is because I'm not a bad person like her. I would never choose aesthetics over a pool safety or my child's life. So that's sort of, I think of that less in this. Like, I'm sure that's there for some people. Like, oh, this could
Sure.
never happen to me because I would never do that, something so reckless and stupid as she did. And so the need to like blame her to get that sort of fear off of you, that because anything, I mean, I could walk out of my house and get hit by a bus. And actually, every time I pull out of my driveway, I'm like, I'm going to get T-boned and die. And that's not even like a crazy thought. Like I could actually get T-boned to die on my street. So that's part of it. But then there's this other part about like, there's some people who can maintain the parasocial kind of intimacy piece, right? Because they can somehow, like, it evokes in them something like empathy or like, they can stay in that relationship with her. And then other people, they just feel betrayed by her lack of perfection. They'll trade by like that she made a mistake, if she made a mistake. I mean, I think it's, maybe it is a mistake, I think, in some ways, but I don't, she's 26. And when I was 26, I don't think I would have been like on top of a pool fence. I probably would have felt invincible. I probably would have felt it would never happen to me. Although I'm a little bit anxious, so maybe I would have, but I don't know. Yes, but some people kind of move out of that. And I think it does have to do, they feel betrayed or something. But what's interesting about like the people who stay engaged with her and the people and will support her and believe in her and have empathy and compassion, because they come on the snark threads too. Do you want
To
to say
defend
something?
her.
Yeah. And I was thinking about it and I was like, the function, for both of these groups could be the same. I don't know. I'm just guessing, but like some of the functions of this are like, it meets their needs for connection. There's something about identity, right? I want to be like you. I have aspirations to be like you. And it has to do with like, the way they treat her has to do maybe with how they regulate their emotions around this, right? Like some people might feel tremendously sad that it happened and they might feel for her then. Like if that happened to me, wow, I would be just destroyed. I'm feel for it. Some people might feel tremendously anxious that it happened and angry that it happened and they go into like the blame place, but it's the same function. It's like it's helping them emotionally regulate. But regardless, I'm like, get a life. Like,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. That's the thing is when it happened, when I was seeing reports, and man, I got to get off TikTok, man. I am so fucking addicted to it. I am just
Yeah, I know.
like
I'm
fucking A. Because everything's on there.
I
Like
know.
that's the thing. The recipes, there's news,
Good stuff.
there's comedy, there's true crime, like all of the things. It hits all of the things, and it knows that it does that for me. Come on, Poochie. Hang on real quick. Let me get him.
Aw, Pooch Man. Come on.
Do you see him?
Oh, Poochie. Look at his cute little butt.
I know. His booty.
I love his wiggly tail.
Okay. All right. Stay put, Poochie man. Okay. There you go.
He's so handsome.
He has something to say. He likes all the pugs of TikTok. Oh, and there's pugs on there. There's pugs. Like,
I know
come
the
on.
animals. I was like, Tim, what do I? Because I'm addicted to X, but Tim, I'm like, Tim, what do I? What is it that's compelling about social media? And I was like, I think I like politics, and he's all dogs. It's there's a lot on there.
Yeah.
It's hard to disconnect.
It is so hard. But I remember when this all happened, and I saw like the new stuff, and that reports are saying that it's Trig Kaiser and stuff. I'm like, oh, that's Emily Kaiser's son. She wasn't the main, like, I would watch her content and stuff because she would, again, there is something soothing about watching someone rhythmically go through life. It's the rhythm of it
Yes.
that, speaking for myself, that pulls me in.
I know. You know what? I have one thing. He's so cute. He really is like a handsome pug. He's like one of the best looking pugs I've ever seen. Sometimes pugs have like a really messed up face. Like the breeding is like their
Yeah.
faces are like inward.
They're so far inward. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, oh, look at this.
I know.
So one thing about that. So you're talking about I think you're talking about like the light side, the good side of like the seeing someone functioning in their lives and like learning from them, like, oh, I can do that, or I can, and it's useful. But a part of me, I feel such an anger about this because so many, myself included, but so many people that I've talked to in my life and in my practice, we struggle with this idea that we're not okay how we are, and that we're living in the gap between like where we are and how we're supposed to be, right? And there's this image of perfection, right? Like certain people have it dialed in. Certain people have like a very, like their house is clean, their makeup's perfect, they have a great, like their cars are clean, like, you know what I mean? And that, I hate this about influencers. Like, give me an influencer like, remember Roseanne, when Roseanne came out, Roseanne Barr?
Yeah.
Wait,
She
is
was
that her
just
name?
very, very
Yeah.
realistic. Roseanne Barr with her show,
Yeah,
Roseanne.
yeah. And it was
yeah.
just like,
Yeah.
not a perfect life and family. I just find that very dangerous and destructive to put that out there, like this is even possible for someone.
It's discussed. Like, who was it? I've seen a few of these influencers say, hey, look, like, honestly, like, look, this is all this shit in my house goes into this one spare bedroom. Like,
Yeah.
you guys think I've got it. No, I won't do laundry for like weeks and
Okay,
stuff.
that's good.
So that does happen. But at the time, she wasn't, Emily's wasn't the primary person. Like, I, of course, I follow a lot of things and people on TikTok and stuff. But when I heard that, I got that sinking feeling of like, holy shit, this can't be real. This can't be real. Is this happening? Of course it's happening. This happens all the time, right?
Yeah.
Especially in Arizona. Apparently there's just this epidemic of kids drowning in pools. Like, it just happens every fucking summer. I was absolutely paranoid about drownings and shit, because it is like the number one accident thing that kills kids. But I thought to myself, and then I found out that he had been taken to a children's hospital, and I thought, oh, okay, he'll be okay, right? He'll be all right. They got him just in time. And then he passed. And I remember thinking, like, wow, this happens, like this happens, but also what's going to happen to Emily? Like, what's going to happen? And it's interesting when you talk about that by blaming her, first of all, it implies that there's control,
Right.
that things don't happen sometimes, like that everything there's like a that has to be someone's fault, otherwise life isn't fair, otherwise things happen that are beyond people's control. And of course, obviously, hindsight is always 2020. Like
Right.
I wouldn't do a lot of the things that I have done in my life if I
Oh
had
my God.
had some fucking hindsight. Like I'm like, oh shit, bad decision. But it's something that happens all the time, which is a point that some of her defenders, I guess, or even just some people that are like, there's this one influencer. She's not an influencer. She's a person that she shares things. She actually advocates for pool safety. She lost
Mhm.
her 3-year-old son to drowning.
Mhm.
And it was a situation where it was at her parents' home, and her
Mhm.
parents they had a pool fence, but they didn't have a lock on it.
Mhm.
And she went to visit her parents
Mhm.
with her children, and didn't have a chance. She wanted to take a shower and get cleaned up after the trip before she did anything like go to the store and find a lock, because she could not find a fucking lock. Her parents weren't home. And so what she does is she kind of barricades the gate to get in.
God.
She barricades it. And then she goes inside and she goes, I'm going to take a shower. And kids, you watching a movie? You're good? Okay, everyone's good. I'm going to go take a shower. She goes to take a shower, and her littlest gets through the fucking barricade.
Ay, ay, ay. That's like
So,
that is almost like because she was a pool safety advocate before this happened. That was
yeah,
her thing. It
she was a lifeguard
right.
and a pool safety advocate, but then she went even harder after this tragic accident happened. But it's like it's never enough because she was getting roasted. You can't win.
I know, and Emily Kaiser is a walking advertisement for that because I mean, she's brought more attention to it than a lot of people have. She's not without even meant without her actually taking up the cause. She's an example of,
Right. This
how
happens.
right and
Yeah.
like it's the interesting thing about like protecting ourselves from living in a universe where we have very little control of anything. That it's like it's so interesting because, that was her lapse, right? We have lapses all the time as well. I'm not a parent, but like, you have moments where you're taking a nap, you fall asleep, something could happen. You turn away for 1 second, your kid could run out in the street. Like it's impossible to have your attention fully on your child 24/7 in a way that you could actually protect them from something terrible happening. It really is.
Yeah.
Right, you take them to daycare, they go on play dates, like, it's a lapse, in judgment perhaps, because I know that pool safety is a big thing now with parents. It wasn't when we
Mhm.
were growing up, it was like
Again, it's a miracle we survived our fucking childhoods. Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, I'm just thinking going back to that, like this sort of the roasting of these people as though we're not human and all humans make mistakes and we're all forgivable. I mean, that's what I believe, but it's like this need to punish and condemn. And I know that's an effort to have a boundary between oneself, whether it's like protecting yourself from the anxiety of living in a world where you have very little control, or whether it's like, you know, you really do believe that that is absolutely the wrongest thing someone could do, and you're distinguishing yourself from them. That's fine. Great. Go ahead and do that. But like, do you need to come on a forum and do you need to say it over and over again? And the reason I think people do this, and we know this, is like they're getting something out of it, right? They're getting like social likes, and that's the kind of disgusting element of it. Is there's like it's the payoff, right? This addictive kind of payoff thing that happens, right? By just poking, 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 and having your little chorus that you're tearing her down with, and it's just so ugly. And what strikes me is like there's no self-awareness about it. Like, oh my God, look at myself. What am I doing? There's no distance from it, or doesn't seem to be. There's all defensiveness when people come on and say, guys, come on. Like, what are you doing here on this forum, ripping her apart? Like, can't you have a little bit of empathy? They just double down. It's just,
They double down. They're like, you can go to the other forum that kisses her ass. We're
yeah.
the snark page. This is our, like, their gang. Like, they're a
As if there's
It's its own
nothing
community.
morally wrong about that. Like, I mean, I don't know. Or nothing harmful to them and other people about that. Like, I think it's harmful to yourself to do that. And I think it's harmful to other people, like
Well,
her.
I feel like shit reading through it.
Yeah.
Like yesterday, I was going through to kind of see some more of what was happening before we recorded today, and I thought, is this? I guess this is your guys' little friend group based on hating someone you don't know, that you've never met, that you've got her figured out based on posts
Who had the
on
worst thing
TikTok.
that could happen to someone happen to her?
Yeah, but they'll tell you that it's not the worst thing that could happen to her, because she's clearly so happy
Right.
going out and doing these things, and that it's not a real job, and why can't she do anything? And I'm like, it's a thing where I look at it and it's like, I imagine, because I have to imagine because I don't know her and all that, but if she's talking to her therapist and understands that there are some things at stake. They just bought this house. There's a mortgage. She's the sole breadwinner. Who knows who all she supports? I don't know. None of us do what her obligations are. That this is the thing that makes her a living. And this idea that in this economy she can just give it all up and go suffer behind a desk somewhere. And I say suffer, meaning, like, I know that there's some people that enjoy desk jobs. That's assuming she could get a desk job. That's assuming a lot of things. And why shouldn't she come back to doing this thing that apparently you guys think is so easy, and that it has no value? Clearly it does, because it's working.
Right.
She's Her shit's working.
Yeah.
Clearly it's working. Why can't she return to it? It's the one thing that she can do, that she can just dial in and get it done, you know?
Well, it's like they just want to she's marked now, right? Like no redemption, no, like it's so harsh. It's such a villagers with the pitchforks and the torches, it's reactive.
Mhm.
You'd think it would subside over time,
It
like they'd
will.
come to their senses, but
It has to. Like, right? It's at a certain point, it'll just die down.
right, you can't come back from something like that. That's such a miserable way to like view the world, because we all do stupid things and make mistakes, and or bad things happen, that we perhaps should have foreseen, I don't know, but shoulda, coulda, woulda. And like, why not? I think it's like a triumph that she's back doing it. Like to be able to like, what is she supposed to do? What good does it do anybody for her to just like wither and die in response to a difficult thing that happened? It's like,
And the assumption that this is easy for her to do. The
yeah,
assumption that she's enjoying every moment, which is, did you have a chance to watch that little YouTube clip of Katy Perry?
yeah, oh
The
yeah.
Yeah, that's what it reminded me of. There's that documentary about Katy Perry when she was on tour, and you see this clip. It's on YouTube, and she's crying.
Mhm.
Russell Brand had just broken up with her over text before she has to fucking go on to do a show, which is really fucking shitty.
I cannot believe he broke up with her over a text. What a dick.
I mean, who knows what their relationship was like,
Right.
but the point is, that is talk about, like, you know,
Someone's avoidant. Yeah.
yeah, right. But she's sobbing. She's just sitting in her dressing room, and her team is there, and it's you see, like, fans are going into this arena chanting her fucking name. Thousands of people have paid money. They're wearing their Katy Perry merchandise, and she's back in the dressing room. She's just fucking crying, and you can just see her team is just so nervous, and the guy's like, so you have choices. You can cancel, or you can, they're and she understands that the show has to go on. And then you see her just before she has to go on stage, and she's like, kind of like, you see her bent over, like she's trying to control her feelings, her tears,
Yeah.
everything. And then the curtain goes up and she just turns on the smile. It's creepy, actually. She just goes, and then
Yeah.
the stage elevates and she goes out. And she did a show. No one knew what happened. I mean, until later, until it hit the tabloids and all that kind of stuff. But she had to go out. She had to do her job. And
Totally.
I picture Emily just in those snippets, and that's not an entire fucking show. And obviously Katie fucking broke up with whatever. She's gone through many different boyfriends, and apparently now Justin Trudeau. So like
What?
she's moved on. Yeah, she was kissing Justin Trudeau on a yacht. There, paparazzi caught a picture of her kissing
Holy
Justin.
moly.
I know.
I know.
I know.
Ew.
So weird. She's an interesting one. But anyway, I understand she didn't lose a child. She didn't, but the point is that in your darkest moments, when you have to get it together because a lot of people are counting on you for money, all that kind of shit, you have to go on. And it's like, I have no idea how much of a dent taking months off after losing Trig. If I don't, who knows if her team hit her up and said, "Hey, listen, I don't know what you want to do, but you've got to get back to work because there will be other influencers and these brands that have partnered with you will move on. You have a mortgage. You're supporting your husband. You're supporting your baby. Who knows who else she's supporting? Who knows what other debts that she is paying? Who knows if she managed her money well or not? It's kind of pointless. The point is she had to get back to work. Whether
Right.
that was easy for her or not, who cares,
Well,
right?
guess
Like,
what, dum-dums? Like, all of us lose everything and everyone we love
yeah,
eventually. And, like, the show must go on. Like, it doesn't
yeah.
do anybody good if you just stop functioning. And it's so why I mean, maybe it's because there's a sense of intimacy, and then you only get the one side. You don't see the tears, and so in your mind, you're putting it together as though they don't exist. But, like, this is, like, what we all do. We walk around all day making stuff up, and, like, we talked about this yesterday a little bit, like, in behavioral therapy, like, there's a thing about topography and function. So, like, there's the topography of behavior, and then there's, like, what it looks like on, like, if you look at a map, like a topographical map.
Right.
You can see what's going on the outside, but you have no idea what the function is of that behavior on the inside unless someone tells you. And there's this whole thing of, like, you could look at Katy Perry and be like, "Ooh, that smile. Ooh, what a psychopath." Or you could look at her and be like, "Oh my God, that woman is totally psychologically flexible. Like, she values her relationship. She's aching inside. She's like, wants to curl into a ball and quit." Also, she's presented with this other situation where her career is very important to her. Her fans are very important to her. So she can move from total devastation, I want to throw up, to I need to perform right now because all these people are depending on me. And to me, that's like beautiful. I think that people I think it says so much more about the people who are in these rooms saying what they're saying than the person they're talking about, right? It's like so revealing about their own psychology,
Oh no, the call is
assuming the
coming
worst.
from inside the house.
Yes.
Yeah, the call
Yeah.
is coming. It's like Black Mirror, Black Mirror. This is like a Black Mirror episode. Watching her, blah blah blah. I'm like, no, you guys are the fucking Black Mirror episode. You
Right.
guys.
Take a look in the mirror, honey.
Yeah, yeah. Like, look at you. You don't know this person. You know nothing about them, and you come on here every day, and you just
Seethe.
yeah, tear them down. You probably just that's the Black Mirror, that we are living in a time when relationships are formed in the shared hatred of a stranger. That's wild.
Ugh, yucky.
Yeah. So that's the thing. Yeah, and there's such a feeling that comes off of it. Like go in there. I'm like, they're all saying the same thing over and over and over again, and they're just waiting for her next post. They're just
Yeah.
waiting for her to do something that they can just judge into the fucking ground. And I
Drink.
hope that she never sees these comments. I hope that that her team, if I had to guess, I know I sent you this message yesterday,
Mhm.
but if I had to guess, that she films her content
Mhm.
and then she like drop boxes it or sends it to a team that edits it for her,
Mhm.
puts it out, that they go through her comments and like or block,
Mhm.
delete, that they may or may not go into these Reddit threads to see what's being said or done, to see if it's something that they need to deal with. I think she has a team, especially because with well over 1 million followers,
Mhm.
she can't possibly keep up. And so
Yeah.
she has people that help and that go in and stuff and do all that for her so that she doesn't have to. And I hope that's what's happening. And I hope she sees none of it because, it's that thing. I think about that one creator on TikTok, Veronica, who she was doing everything she could to protect her son and she was getting roasted. Well, then you failed.
I know.
You failed. You fucked
Right.
up. You're a terrible mother. You should have known better. Why didn't you X, Y, and Z? And she actually has a very funny response to these people. She's able to, I mean, this happened many, many years ago,
Mhm.
but it's you can't win. And the problem is, and this is where I talk about like the Faustian bargain of being an influencer, is it seems like such a dream job. And there's so much resentment towards like Emily, there's resentment towards Avery Woods, towards Lindsay Arnold Cusick, all these different creators,
Mhm.
that there's that fucking price you pay.
Oh, I organize my entire life. I try not to anymore, but I'm 52 now and I'm like still working on this. I mean, my whole life is organized between like around like don't hate me, don't hate me. Right? And like um to make yourself the object of anything, right? The object of people's love, the object of their anger. Then you can become the object of their anger and their hatred and their contempt. And to offer yourself up in that way and to be able to tolerate that stuff, it requires quite a bit of like, for me, I feel like I'm just coming into this for myself, which is through a little bit of exposure training from getting a bad review from some person who that review is gone, by the way. He had to
Phew,
delete it.
thank goodness.
But it was hard. And then we have our own hater. Tim wants us to talk about the hater on the trapdoor episode.
Okay.
We could. We wouldn't
Sure.
name the person. We have a
No.
hater. But and it's like, it's good experience, it's good exposure because living your life in a way that you're like trying to avoid people not liking you is no way to live. It's like
No.
you, but coming into your own enough to be like, I'm okay with who I am is a thing. It's like a journey. I think it's very hard to reach a state where you're kind of like, you know what? I am living in integrity with what I believe and my values. And if people hate me, that's okay. I'm okay with me. And I have a little bit of that now, enough to do a podcast. But
Right.
like, part of me is like, I was worried about this podcast because I was like, I don't know if I can handle just people saying things like, "Oh, Shannon, whatever. She's like her voice is stupid or what she said is dumb or I hate her. She's annoying." Like that. Be so hard. Um but I think it's so yeah, you're right. I mean, there are all kinds of costs. It's like I mean, having to record it, you know what this is like from your work, that you to having to churn out content and keep up with the grind of that when you're feeling like you felt this morning. It's so devaluing. The whole thing is just so it's like propping someone up and then just devaluing them and eviscerating them and getting off on it. It's just so gross.
Yeah, it's interesting. You know what I was thinking about with these like aspirational, I guess they're also called like, affluencers,
Oh
right?
yeah, yeah.
It reminds me of like in during the Depression, remember that the types of Hollywood movies that were so popular.
Oh yes.
It was like opulent wealth,
Oh my
like
gosh, yeah.
castles and Ginger Rogers and Fred Astaire and dancing and singing and traveling and and it was people struggling to put food on the table and wondering how the fuck they were going to survive, could escape into this opulent imaginary fantasy world.
Oh my god. Wow, yes. I
And
see
it
where you're
feels,
going.
yeah, and nowadays there is something that I think it's this interesting mix because I think it was clear, at least during the Depression, it was clear that this is a fantasy, right? You had that block, you had a screen,
Yeah.
and you had, of course, it's most of these movies were musicals, so there's like singing and dancing, so you understand that this is imaginary. But we have gotten to a point where we are blurring the lines so much between what is real and what is imagined. I think just especially entering into this kind of like postmodernist kind of space that we're in now, where we don't necessarily want fantasy so much, or we understand our fantasy is over here and our perceptions of reality are over here, and our phones are, they're close, we're so close to them, and so these influencers, maybe intellectually we understand that they're hawking wares, that they can't possibly wear all of these clothing hauls that they have come in. A lot of this is brand deals and partnerships and stuff. But we want to pretend it's real enough that we keep watching it.
It's like escapist or something.
It's a form of escape and a form of like, maybe I could do this.
Right. I know. And
You
there
know?
is something, I was just, as you were talking about this, I was just thinking like,
They're selling hope.
it could feel, well, they are, but it's like, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Some people feel defeated by it. Like my response to it is interesting. Like, but I fall into this trap a lot of like, one time my therapist said to me something like, because I hate, how that running to-do list. There's always that desire, and this happens. Clients talk to me about this all the time. We always have the sense of like, I want to complete this,
Right.
and it's not achievable. It's like a garden. It's like planting a garden, right? It's like it's not finished ever. It's you got to pull weeds, you got to get rid of pests, you got to plant new things. It's a work in progress all the time, and you just have to kind of get used to that. But like, I don't know where this comes from, but for me at least, there's a sense of like this image of perfection, as though like the cycle of messing and cleaning of your house doesn't happen. Like I could reach this pristine, this place of perfection and maintain it, right? Like all the windowsills are cleaned out, no dead flies in the windowsill,
Yeah.
right? Like it makes it feel achievable somehow that they're doing it. And there's something about, some people can feel like, oh no, that's ugh. But there's something I get out of it. Like there is something about it that's like somewhat pleasurable. It's like going into Whole Foods. Like we used to go into Whole Foods when we were
Oh my
younger,
God. Yeah.
right? It's like organized and orderly and clean and everything's healthy,
Right.
as though life could be that way. Right. Life is messy. I talk about this a lot in therapy. My consultant came up, with this, and it's a perfect metaphor. She's like, I'm a swamp. I'm not a golf course. And we're always trying to be the golf course, right? We're always like, but it has to be manicured. It has to be perfectly whatever. And it's like, it requires so much maintenance. But really, I'm a fucking swamp. And it feels better to just be a swamp. And swamps are alive, right? There's a lot going on in a swamp.
They're not artificial.
Right. But I feel like in my life, I'm always like, I'm not willing to do what some people do to be the golf course. But I live in this space of like, ooh, I want to be a golf course. I'm just over here being the swamp and dropping like, chlorine tablets in it. Like that's as far as I'm willing to go. So I don't know. It's that whole like swamp golf course thing.
Yeah. There's that thing. It's a meme I saw. I think I saw it on Instagram, and it was basically that this is social media, and it shows a mirror and it shows an apple like in the mirror, but behind the apple there's a bite taken out of it.
Oh,
And that's essentially that's what it all is, we're obviously going to be putting our best foot forward. These influencers are being paid to present this life, and it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to, I mean, it's fine if you want to think that it's meaningless work and it's stupid work, and there's of course plenty of arguments for that, of course, like how important is it to be hawking, supplements and vitamins and workout clothes and home decor. Sure. But it is their job, and they're paid to do it, and they're paid ridiculously well. And that says more about just our system than anything else, that, clearly it's working. People are buying these things, but it is work, and it is hard work. I think it is hard work.
Yeah.
What goes into like, I mean, I can barely fucking get myself into the kitchen to make coffee. Imagine me having to like set up my tripod and camera every step of the way
Once a
and
week.
capture it.
I know, once a week, I'm all, "Ugh," for the podcast. I
Yeah.
can't imagine having to be oof.
Yeah, shooting content and so like it's a full-time job. It's a full-time job, which I think is a lot of the reason why they end up quitting their real jobs to do this job. Number 1, it's way more lucrative, right? Number 2, they if they have to choose between 2 jobs, is it gonna be the one that actually gets them out of debt or they can, like, breathe easy about
Mhm.
bills, etcetera? They
Mhm.
can save for the future? Like, I don't blame them. And there is an incredible cost that
Yeah.
comes, and that is people's judgment when something fucking tragic and horrible happens that completely, like, blindsides them, and then they have to figure out how to move forward with their lives, and it's a no-win situation. So, it's just another thing where I'm like, is Emily Kaiser a horrible human being? I don't know because I don't fucking know her.
Right.
You know, is she a sociopath? I have no idea. Maybe she's a serial killer. We don't know. Does she, is this the worst thing that fucking ever happened to her? Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, when I say like it's none of my business and she that this refrain is repeated a lot by people coming to her defense, which is she owes you nothing. She owes you nothing. And these people are angry about it.
So hard to trade your privacy for,
That's the thing. That's they always go back to that. That is their contention. It's like, well, she puts it out there. I'm like, she puts stuff out
some.
there.
Yeah.
She puts things out there.
And she
You
gets
don't
to pick.
actually know.
She gets to choose. You know what? This just goes. I think it
Yeah.
sometimes just boils down to like how much people hate not getting what they want and boundaries. People
Yeah.
hate.
Yeah.
People hate when when you say no and they don't want you to say no.
Yeah. Her
Ugh.
very existence is pissing people off. And that thing of like, unfollow her. And then what's creepy is a lot of them do unfollow her and then stalk her fucking page. And I'm like, again, this says more about you than it does about her. We don't know her, and you're acting like you fucking do. It
Yeah.
doesn't cost you anything to, I don't know, have some fucking grace.
Yeah.
Don't assume the worst in people. And again, yeah, she's 26 years old. She will never be the same. Why I don't know why people can't just that's fine. Be uncomfortable with what you're seeing and walk away and go fucking get a hobby or donate to a cause that matters to you. If go donate to a drowning education. It's just
Yeah.
it's just insane.
How about you become a pool safety advocate if you're so concerned about it?
Exactly.
Like, and
Exactly.
Emily Kaiser, if you're listening, I wish you well.
I wish her well too, man. I wish her well. I wish I'll, it's a thing, man. I say this all the time, there but for the grace of God go I. I've done some really stupid shit. Some of it you can see for free on Google. Like, I've done some dumb ass fucking shit. And I am not here to judge anybody. And again, I'm lucky to be here. I'm lucky to be alive. I'm lucky to have friends. I'm lucky to have my kids. Like I wish, I don't know. I just wish that we could fucking wish well for everyone.
Right. Like, I understand, like, my old supervisor used to say this and I just love it. She's like, the only true refuge is a heart of compassion. And
Yeah.
it's true. But it's not to say that you need to slap compassion on top of anger or resentment or whatever. But like, it's not good for you to rest in contempt and anger and snark and whatever. It just isn't.
Yeah.
And it's just a much better life when you can touch into your compassion for your fellow human being and realize they're just like you. I mean, we're just like each other in so many ways, right? We're fallible. We there are oversights. We fall asleep. We don't, we do stupid things. Sometimes we're mean. Sometimes we're petty. The best thing you could do is really ask yourself, why am I? What's up that I'm doing this? What am I
Yeah.
getting out of doing this? And what is this putting into the world? And I don't know. Reorient towards your values, guys. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that
And
that is that is our episode on Emily Kaiser and this kind of larger conversation about how we navigate social media, what it says about us when we feel the need to participate in these bizarre communities of tearing each other down, and always have compassion. Try, man. It's a, it's a muscle you have to exercise. And
Yeah.
in my a lot of my scripture reading and what my pastor says, if you don't exercise the muscle, it gets weak. And obviously we're not perfect, and I can be a snarky asshole
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Of
I
course I
love it
can.
sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah. But then I have to remind myself at the end of the day, I'm like, okay, but like, let me think about why I'm saying this or why I'm feeling this way. And let me remember that, God made us all. We're all connected.
Yeah, and you have to cultivate an open heart. Like, your heart isn't always open. Your heart does close down when you feel hurt or scared or threatened or whatever. And that it's worthwhile to cultivate an open heart and kindness and compassion. Yeah, like you do in your practices.
Yeah, you have to, and maybe it looks like forgiveness, right? I forgive. It's an active thing. You don't just automatically love someone or care or wish someone well. Sometimes you have to work at it.
Yeah.
So yeah, um, wow. Anyway, let us all not be on social media too much.
Amen.
And I'm glad to be back. I'm glad you're feeling better, Shannon,
Thank
as you
you.
cough.
I know. I had a twinge, a throat twinge.
We'll be back next week. Love us or hate us on our on our social media, please. On Instagram, we are at Secret Passage Podcast. On X, we are at Secret Pass Pod. Right?
Yep.
Yeah. You can find us on Patreon as well if you're so inclined. And questions or comments, you can always email us ideas for episodes, things you want to see, etc. And we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.